I'm actually going to remove these blockers so we can take a look at what a 4-coordinate grid system looks like. So this is the first quadrant here, quadrant 1, and that's where we have positive x value. So we go over to the positives, and we'd go up. So if we're going over and up, that's definitely going to be in the first quadrant. But then what if our x value is negative? So if our coordinate is -2 instead of 2, then we're actually going to go left. And then we might go up and find our y value. And same thing, if our y value is negative, then instead of going up, we're going to go down. So let's take a peek at some of the questions that I'm asking you to answer, and let's solve a couple together, and then you can solve some on your own. So I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to take a look at my first point I need to plot. I'm going to get my scribble tool ready. And my x coordinate, which is the one going side to side, right, is -4. So instead of going over here to 4, I'm actually going to go left, and I'm going to find -4. And then it wants me to go to 2. Well, because there's no subtraction sign in front of the 2, that means it's positive. So I'm going to go up. If there was a subtraction sign in front of the 2, that would mean it's negative, and I would go down. So I'm going to go -4. I'm going to go up to the 2. So I'm making a point at -4, 2. And because the question told me that was going to be point A, I'm going to label that blob with the letter A. That's a very ugly A. I'm just going to use a text box. A. Perfect. All right, let's do a couple more. So B, look at this right off the bat. It's the exact same numbers, but we got to be really mindful of where the negatives are. So in B, we have a +4 for our x value and a -2 for our y. So I'm going to go over to the +4, and I'm going to actually go down to the -2. So I'm going to put my dot here, and let's see if I can make a letter B with my touchpad here. It's so much easier when I use the mouse, but that looks like a nice B. Okay, let's do a couple more. Here I have -5, 5. So -5 is my first value. That's my side-to-side value. So I'm going to go left to -5. And then I have a 5 down here for my y value. It is positive. So I'm going to go up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to plot my point. And there's number C, letter C. C is not a number. All right. And for D, last one I'm going to do for you, with you, D is -2 for the x value, 5 for the y value. So -2, I'm going to go over to -2 on the x-axis, and then I'm going to go up to 5. So it should actually be on the same line as C. And that's where I'm going to plot D. That's how you do page 1. All right, let's cruise down to page 2. On page 2, we've got lots of letter dots on our 4-quadrant coordinate grid. And we're going to identify what the coordinate is for that. Remember, when we write our coordinate grid, when we write our coordinates for a point on the grid, we use a bracket. We write the x value. We use a comma. That looks like a period. Periods are confusing in math because we use periods for decimals. So we want to use a comma for an ordered pair, the y value, and then an end bracket. So let's do 3 of these together. I'm going to do A first. So I'm going to find my y. I always start at 0. I didn't say that in the first question, but we always start at 0, the origin. And I'm going to go find where the y lines up on my x-axis, which is the side-to-side axis, right? X goes horizontally side to side. And I'm going to go over to the left, which means it's a negative number, and it lines up with the 4. So for A, I've got -4, and then I'm going to count how many lines up, so into the positives. 1, 2, 3. So we've got -4 on the x, and on my y-axis, I've got +3. So here's how that looks. I'll use a text box. A is going to be bracket -4, comma, +3, bracket. And we like it. Good work. Good work, us. Let's find B. Here's B. Kind of half circle it. I'm going to find my X value first. So I'm going to go over to the left, and I see that I'm lining up with -5. It's on the -5 line. And then I'm going down, not up. I'm going down, 1, 2. So it lines up with the -2. So for B, let's make a new text box. We've got bracket, -5, comma, -2, bracket. And let's do one more. C. Where's C, 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 C? Here's C right here. I'll put a little pizza slice on it. And C's on that positive side. So we're going to go over and find out where it lines up on the x-axis. It lines up with the 4. Then we're going to go up and see that it lines up with the 3 on the y-axis. So or you could count 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So this is just like all the ones we were doing yesterday. We were only looking at positive ordered pairs. And we had 4 on the x and 3 on the y. I'm just going to double check because I can't remember if it was 3, 4 or 4, 3. It's definitely 4 first, the x value first, and then 3. It's always good to double check if you're not sure. Cruising down here, we have more practice. Okay, so for this one, we're going to use this big grid to answer all of the questions that are being asked of us on the page. So I'm just going to zoom out a little bit. Well, I clicked those buttons and they didn't do anything, so I'm not going to zoom out. In the first question, you're going to say what letter is matching with the ordered pair. So let's go find out what matches up with +3, -2. So I start in the middle at 0, and I go 1, 2, 3. And to go to -2, I'm actually going to go down 1, 2, and I see the letter B. So pop a B there. There. Next question, write the ordered pair for each point. So I have to find E, then I have to write the coordinates for E. Oh, I can't find it. Oh, here it is. So I'm going to do my X value first, starting in the middle, -1, -2, -3. And since I'm going down, it's going to be another negative number, and I'm going down 1 line, 2 lines. So -3, -2, bracket, -3, comma, -2, bracket. And the last question is going to ask you to put an S on the grid at the coordinate -6, -3. So back up to my grid I go. I'm going to go -6 on the x-axis, -3 on the y, and I think it was the letter S, wasn't it? Looks a little bit like a 5, but you get the idea. We've got an S on our grid. So you'll have 3 plots that you're going to plot on that grid. And then, hey, if you have time, you can cruise down and work on this puppy page. We used straight lines to make this puppy face. And your job is at every vertice, every corner in this straight line shape, the outline of our face, you're going to write the coordinates. So for A, we're looking at +2 up to 5. Let me see if I can fit that in here. We've got +2 on the x-axis, 2, and we have +5. And then for B, C, D, and so on. If you finish that, you can create your own shape outline using straight lines, and then mark the coordinates of your outline. I doubt that very many people will get through all the pages of the booklet, but work as hard as you can, get as much done as you can. We'll have a little bit more time for this tomorrow, and Friday will be a show what you know. So good luck, work hard, and get help when you need help. Thanks for watching.